The story for Transformers Fall of Cybertron is pretty much exactly that. It is the fall of Cybertron and is the last hope for Optimus Prime and the Autobots to pretty much come through and survive against the war between them and the Decepticons, who are led of course by Megatron. So the story is Optimus Prime and the Autobots have to get the hell off Cybertron because Optimus Prime says, screw Cybertron, it's lost, it's game over, this place is not going to last very long. And they decide to get off their home planet and, try to survive the Decepticons, because if they stay there any longer, Cybertron and them are going to get killed. It's going to be game over for their race. And of course the Decepticons are just doing anything they can to destroy the Autobots, and that's really their story. There's nothing else to say about them. So the story here is very simple, and there isn't a lot of interesting stuff going on, but the thing I actually really enjoy about the story is the characters themselves. High Moon Studios puts so much personality into every single Transformer that you play as in this game, and you do play as a few throughout the game. And the dialogue is actually very well written, and you do get a sense of camaraderie from some of these Transformers in the game, and it's actually pretty damn funny too. It actually has some very funny lines in the game. So overall, it might not be the best story out there, but it definitely is a very enjoyable one at that. Now let's talk about the sound. Voice acting wise, of course, when you have anything Transformers, you need Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime. And it's weird that this time you actually have Nolan North as Optimus Prime, which is very strange. No, I'm just kidding. It's Peter Cullen, as it always should be. And do I need to say anything about Peter Cullen? He is Optimus Prime. He is awesome. Now, speaking of Nolan North, he is in the game, and he voices 3 different characters. That's right, 3 different characters. And besides Nolan North, you also have Troy Baker, and you have Steve Blum, who both voiced 3 different characters as well. So there you go. For 3 amazing voice actors, you get 9 characters altogether. So yay. And do I need to give you my opinion about the voice acting? Everybody does a fantastic job. They're all professional voice actors, and they definitely show it. Now, the sound design does a great job in this game as well. I mean, you hear explosions, and you hear, of course, the Transformers transforming. You'll just hear things in the background. You'll just hear a all-out war going on, and it sounds fantastic. And the soundtrack is good old-fashioned Transformers, not that Michael Bay crap. Screw that Linkin Park. This is real orchestra badass epicness, and it really works here. So overall, the sound here is absolutely fantastic. Now let us talk about the graphics, which Transformers War for Cybertron was a beautiful looking game. Fall of Cybertron decides to take what was great in that game and just polish it up and give it more scope and just make it cleaner. Cybertron itself just looks absolutely gorgeous, just like it did in the last game, except this time there's more polish, so there's not as many blurry textures as the last game, and the scope is bigger. There'll be times where you're just zooming by, either in a car or in a jet or something, and you're just seeing all this shiny metal everywhere and all these gears turning and all the animations that are fantastic in this game. It just looks beautiful. It really does. The Transformers themselves, at least the main characters, all have a very distinct look to them, and you can definitely tell them apart, unlike Michael Bay's Transformers. Bullcrap. And some other little effects like explosions and the way Transformers explode whenever you kill them and body parts fly everywhere look really good as well. So overall, Fall of Cybertron just takes what War for Cybertron did and makes it better. Now let's talk about the most important part of any game, and that is the sound. Yes, we're going to talk about it again. No, of course I'm talking about the gameplay. Transformers Fall of Cybertron is a third-person action shooter set in the Transformers world, and the campaign itself is broken up into 13 missions, 6 for the Autobots, 6 for the Decepticons, and 1 which is a hybrid version, which is both of them. Oh shiz. For most of the campaign, you will be playing as a different Transformer each mission, which actually adds a lot more variety to the game, seeing that each Transformer actually has its own different ability to use. Like, one has a active camo ability, and actually can be stealthy. Another one just can pretty much go up into the air and smash right onto the ground, and it just really adds a lot to it because you just can't wait for the next mission to see which Autobot or Decepticon you get next and to see their ability. And even though that does add a lot of variety, for the most part you will still be just using guns. I mean, you'll be shooting a lot of stuff in this game, let's just say that. And luckily, the gunplay is a lot of fun, seeing that they give you a lot of different weapons to pick. They give a lot of them to you later on in the game, so you don't feel like you're getting bored with like 20 weapons right in the beginning of the game. And it just feels very satisfying when you shoot the head off, or an arm off, or a leg off, or just every single limb off of a Transformer. I don't know, it's just really exciting. I don't know why. And And you can even upgrade your guns at the many different kiosks that you'll find throughout the game, where you can go and use the energon that you collected from killing a bunch of freaking Transformers and use it to buy different weapons and upgrade said weapons, different parts of the weapons, like add no recoil or add more ammo to your gun. And seeing that it is a Transformers game, you can transform into a car or an airplane or a helicopter, whatever mission allows you to do so. And just like in the last game, the car controls and the helicopter controls or whatever work really good in the game. They're very smooth, very responsive. You don't use them as much in this game as you do in War for Cybertron, which I noticed, but that's fine. The reason why that's fine, in my opinion, is because you will be driving a lot in the multiplayer. Yes, the competitive multiplayer is back in the game, and for the most part, the multiplayer modes are exactly the same. You have the objective ones, you have the team deathmatch ones, but the modes aren't what make it fun. The gameplay is what makes it fun, and it's just so entertaining just to be able to switch to a vehicle and back to a robot whenever you want. The gunplay works perfectly here. You still get all those little different abilities. You can upgrade your guys to make them even more awesome in the game, and for the most part, the multiplayer is great in the game, just like it was in War for Cybertron. And you also get that horde mode called Escalation, which I barely played, to be honest, but you know, it seems like it could be fun if you just want to pal around with a bunch of friends and just shoot a bunch of crap. The multiplayer combined with the single player just make this package, this whole entire package, well worth the $60. Even with the absence of the co-op campaign, I highly recommend this game for anybody that loves the last game and just Transformers in general, because it is a lot of fun. Anyway, there you go. There's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you and goodbye.